Hi, everybody. It's Bryan Strawser, chairman of the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus. Many of you have asked us for a walkthrough of the proposed assault weapons ban here in Minnesota. So I'm going to briefly walk through Senate File 1596, which is the ban on the sale or transfer of what Minnesota calls a semi-automatic military-style assault weapon. So this bill, the chief author is Senator Jen McEwen. And I'm looking, what I have here is the Minnesota legislature webpage. Jennifer McEwen here, DFL Senator from Duluth, is the chief author. And you can see there are four co-authors: Omar Fata, Elise Mon, Senator Johnson Stewart, and Senator Liz Bolden of Rochester. Senator Bolden and Senator McEwen often sponsor these crazy anti-gun bills, so that's a pretty normal alliance. This is the first time we've seen 5 authors on a bill, which indicates this is getting more support in the Senate than before. This bill was introduced on February 20th. It was assigned to the committee that has jurisdiction, which would be the Senate Judiciary and Public Safety Committee, the same day. And then on the 24th, which is today, the day I'm recording this video, Senator Bolden added her name to the bill. You can note, at least at the time we're recording this, there's no House companion, meaning no one has introduced this bill in the House. I do expect that will happen as the House works through bill introductions in the coming week. So let's go to the bill language. I'm just going to click here on current bill text as introduced. And we can see here, just for background, as we're looking at this, language that is struck through is being removed. Language that is being added is underlined. And then any language that might be repealed will be down at the bottom as well. So what this is doing is this is amending our current law around defining a semi-automatic military-style assault weapon, which is Minnesota 624.7112 subdivision 7. Won't bore you with that. We have a list of the current definition of how we define that in Minnesota law. And then we have some language that allows other similar firearms to be defined that way. But down here, so what the bill does is it expands the definition of a semi-automatic military-style assault weapon to include any semi-automatic rifle that can accept a detachable magazine and has at least one of the following features: a pistol grip or a thumbhole stock, any feature that has a protruding grip that can be held by the non-trigger hand, any folding or telescoping stock, or any barrel shroud or that partially or completely encircles the barrel, allowing the bearer to hold the firearm with a non-trigger hand without being burned, not including a slide that encloses the barrel. Or a semi-automatic pistol, or any semi-automatic centerfire or rimfire rifle that has a fixed magazine that can accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition. Or any semi-automatic pistol that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine and one or more of the following features. And then it lists a folding, telescoping, or thumbhole stock, a shroud, the capacity to accept a detachable magazine at any location outside of the grip. And then any semi-automatic shotgun that has one or more of the following: a pistol grip or thumbhole stock, any feature that or functions as a protruding grip that can be held by the non-trigger hand, a folding or telescoping stock, a fixed magazine capacity in excess of 10 rounds, or the ability to accept a detachable magazine. Or a shotgun with a revolving cylinder, or a conversion kit part or combination of parts from which an assault weapon can be assembled if those parts are in the possession of or control of the same person. Semi-automatic military-style assault weapon does not mean any firearm described in this paragraph that has made permanently inoperable. So they basically, if you have a pile of parts that could be turned into this thing that they have defined, then that would be a semi-automatic military-style assault weapon under this bill. Now, with the definition in place, now we get to the prohibition. The prohibition is, they define transfer. Transfer is a sale, a gift, a loan, an assignment, or other delivery or to another person. And then it creates a crime. It is unlawful for a person to transfer any of these firearms, any of these new definition of a semi-automatic military-style assault weapon, meaning that you can't buy one, you can't sell it, You can't give it to somebody else. You can't leave it to your heirs in an estate. It's yours and yours alone. The only exceptions are if it's a transfer between government officers, agents, employees, the armed forces, or peace officers for official use, or by a dealer who is properly licensed to any branch of the armed forces or to a law enforcement agency for law enforcement. So police are exempt. The armed services are exempt. Dealers have some exemption here, and that's it. So if you own something under this law, once this law passed, you can't sell it, you can't transfer it, you can't give it to another person, you can't let another person use it. All of that would be completely prohibited. And if you do it, then it is a felony, and you may be sentenced to imprisonment for not more than 5 years or payment of a fine of not more than $25,000 or both. And that would be effective. This date is wrong because they cookie cuttered their bill from last year. It would be August 1st, 2025, I assume. Section 3 of this bill then basically creates a statewide buyback program and allocates money towards that. That would be used to purchase these weapons back from people. But basically, if this law passes, you can't buy these, you can't sell these, you can't transfer them, you can't give them away, you can't leave them to someone else in your estate. My take on this is you couldn't even give it to somebody in another state because all of those would be transfers or sales under the way this law is written, and that would be a 5-year penalty, a 5-year felony, rather. So that's a quick breakdown on Senate File 1596. You can keep track of the status of this bill at gunowners.mn/tracker, and you'll want to make sure you're on our mailing list, which you can do right on the front page of our website at gunowners.mn, and follow us on social media, and we'll keep you informed as things move forward. If you're not in the fight, join us today at gunowners.mn/join. Become a Second Amendment defender. Those are our monthly members that pay up to $5 or more a month. gunowners.mn/monthly. Or if you're already a member and you want to contribute to the fight this year, make a donation at gunowners.mn/donate. Thanks for listening. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments or drop us a note at contact@gunowners.mn.